Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by 10th Man and Righteous Force in G+, together with a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hello, Discord.
Morning.
Right, good to have you all. So in the pre-show, we were discussing how quiet it is and why it's quiet. It's because, in analogy, we have a battlefield in front of us, and us, in this analogy, is the Flat Earthers. We're all here, combat ready, armed to the teeth, holding a lot of ammunition, pointing it down the battlefield. Looking over this battlefield, going, where the hell is everyone? Why aren't they here? So then we do our little harp music, and we go over to the barracks of the Globeheads. And they've had an explosion in the mess hall. There's food everywhere. In the middle of the night, they've got up to check what's going on, and now they're slipping all over each other in total chaos while we're stood on the battlefield, us being the Flat Earthers. So they're in total chaos. Why are they in total chaos? Well, they had an assertion that they lived, because they are guilty of reification, on a sphere shape. And that sphere shape was backed up by the claim that things in the distance were blocked by the physicality and geometry of that sphere. Now, since we've had this modus tollens argument formulated with an analogy called the black swan, we're in a circumstance where people who have spent quite literally years on this show telling us just how physical the geometric edge is and qualifying how much it blocks things in the distance with feet and inches, are now telling us that they don't have a geometric horizon, and asking us why they would need one. Well, let me answer that question before we get into housekeeping. You'd require a physical geometric edge for a horizon if you are a fundamentalist globehead believer, because it's the basis of your religion that you're standing on a sphere. Now, for those of us who have done a little bit more investigation, we've discovered that the idea of standing on a sphere is merely a reification, the fallacy of misplaced concretedness, turning that which is not concrete, in this case an abstraction, a mathematical construct used to make the world a little bit easier to understand, taking that concept and making it into physical reality. It's not. It's an abstraction. It's mathematics. We don't have, as declared by the current opposition, who think they live on a sphere, we don't have a physical geometric edge to do geometry with. So the sphere religion has become untenable. Doesn't change the fact that plenty of the people on the battlefield still believe in it, or want to. They may or may not appreciate just how untenable their argument has become, but with time they will. But while the chaos ensues, all we get is some mutterings and murmurings, the echoes coming through the waves in the form of chat comments,
So,
Hey, Owen.
so what? So you've disproved the radius. So what?
Perfect timing, Owen. So what? So you don't have a sphere Earth religion anymore? That's what so what is.
What did you need a radius for?
To assert you lived on a sphere.
Right?
To assert you lived on a
experiment.
sphere, Chocolate. That's what they needed a radius for.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Chocolate.
Good morning.
Winning chocolate.
In light
Yeah.
of that little speech, any signs of physical Earth curve obstructions in the form of a horizon that can block things in the distance, bend at altitude?
No, they don't have one. Oh wait, they do. They do. No, wait, they don't. Do they?
You're on fire today, Alwyn.
Yeah, Arwen's 2 for 2, man.
Yep, 2 for 2. So no signs of any curvature of any description then.
Well, not from the Costco parking lot.
And not from the Walmart parking lot.
Not from Asda parking lot. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety? Feel free to join
None
in
of the
Discord.
Earth.
Without
Oh,
R, you can't do anything with the celestial observations.
Oh, we'll get to the sun shortly. Any evidence of the distance to the sun? There you go, John.
Without R, you can't do anything with celestial observations.
That's right. They can't even assume 93 million miles without R. Oh dear, it looks like the entire heliocentric model's collapsing in on itself. Oh, terrible, terrible. Anyway, any scientific evidence of gravity?
Oh, that
Well,
question
just
gets
don't hold me
famous,
to it.
Well,
Can't do
scientific
it.
evidence
Can't have gravity
of
without
an
R.
effect attributed to something that really is conceptual and cannot be proven.
That wasn't very funny, but very true. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Not without R.
Any evidence you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
No,
No.
I had
can't
this up
think of a
earlier,
way
Arwin.
to even
By the way,
try that out.
I had this picture up in the pre-show.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Isn't it incredible?
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, Ben Garrison is pretty famous, and yeah,
What?
and he literally
Wait,
hit
wait,
the
wait,
globe
wait.
and the black swan in plain sight.
The globe is scared riding a black swan, and it says fear on the black swan.
No
Yes,
shit.
If
but
that's not incredible.
It's hidden in plain sight because the world is not the globe. It's literally the world of people, symbolically. The swan just happened to be the ride. It happens to be black for no particular reason. And it really is more about the corona fear versus the lake of death. So Ben Garrison is a genius. He hid the black swan in plain sight. Plain sight.
Yeah, this is awesome. You can send me this if you have it. Send
He's
me this
posted
picture.
it.
It's I posted it in Skype.
Now,
Oh, okay.
I've been watching some shows of the Black Swan event when it comes to the financial application of the Black Swan. So this doubles for both. It's actually very clever.
It is.
Yeah, extremely clever. As soon as I saw it, I was like, instantly I know what that is going to be because it's a mainstream cartoon. But the subtlety of our argument being completely contained within is like, even if it's not intentional, I'm having that. That's great. I'm having it.
That's why I reacted when I saw. I was like, "What? What is it? Are you kidding?" Very nice.
It's brilliant.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, look at the Black Swan saying, hold on.
Yeah, very cool. Where'd you find that, Arwin?
Where did I find it? Oh yeah. Wait. I got it. I don't remember. Where did I get that?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
I'm just wondering, where did I actually find that? I think maybe Maybe it was in the 24/7 Discord or something. I don't know where I found this. I'm pretty sure I didn't go to that site, the Conservative Daily News. I think somebody else found it. Oh wait, yeah, it was Dank. Dank put it in my chat. He found it.
Okay. So I'll have to ask Dank. Dan K. Dan, where'd you get this? Hopefully it'll tell us. As there's a slight segue in this picture, any evidence of a molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Or, alternatively, a chocolate core at the centre of the Willy Wonka Earth?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Love it.
Dank, that was good.
I think we've covered them all. Is that it? I think so. Hey, Sleeping Warrior?
Hey.
Missed out on housekeeping, I'm afraid. I'm sure you're heartbroken.
What's up, Riley?
Say we're still on housekeeping.
No, you've just missed. We just literally finished it the
just-
second you joined.
Just wrapped
excellent.
it up.
Excellent.
Green excellent.
So,
99% of the Western world think they live on a spinning sphere flying through a sky vacuum. We finished the housekeeping questions without a single rebuttal. Answer's like, excellent!
I'm just wondering if there was any progress on the ball Earth side for this geometric horizon that they believe exists. I find it interesting that they believe this stuff and, can't prove it, but think it's okay to just, believe this stuff. I want to play a little clip from when Jeremy was asked. It's only about 5 seconds. When he was asked about what is... Actually, I can't remember what the clip is, but let me just play it. It'll literally take 10 seconds.
You live on a globe.
How would they know they live on a globe?
They have a justified true belief.
How would they know they live on a globe? They have a justified true belief. Bit like, how do they know they've got a geometric horizon? They have a justified true belief. Well, that's what they've got. A justified model, true, well, not sure, belief. Yeah, that's what it is. You guys just believe.
No, it isn't. No. The model's become untenable. They've no longer got a geometric horizon. They've no longer got a physical geometric sphere edge blocking things in the distance. The argument from their position is now untenable. So a justified belief, not at all an untenable belief.
Yeah, but they're not going to let go of their model, are they?
Well, let go of it? They're telling us they haven't got a geometric horizon. They are letting go of it. They're asking us why they'd need a geometric physical edge to block things in the distance. Aren't you listening to what they're asking you?
Well, let's see what the next few weeks brings, eh? As the ballers begin to realise that their model's collapsing. I don't know where else they're going to go.
No more pointing up.
They have no choice but to change their model because their current model doesn't work.
Light Energy said it best in the Discord yesterday about the 0 point for all their celestial navigation observations. They've given that up.
You there, Light Energy?
She may be at work.
No, she's here. Hello, Light Energy. Good to have you. Did you hear that little preamble?
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, my whole point yesterday was if you have a horizon that just keeps changing at its base, at its level, then how can you measure where the horizon starts to measure your celestial movements?
Oh, was that not rhetorical? You can't.
Exactly. That was rhetorical.
Worth answering anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more and more things exactly like that, Light Energy. People coming forward saying, hang on, this doesn't work either now. Hang on, that doesn't work either. In fact, none of it works. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't, does it? Yeah, we don't live on a sphere flying through a sky vacuum. It's preposterous, untenable, nonsense.
Absolutely. There was another gentleman that was trying to speak up before you went live, and he pointed out that gravity doesn't work if you don't have R, and what was the other thing? Well, yeah, the celestial bodies don't work without R. Nothing is working without R.
Light energy. Did I give you props for that poem you wrote? Because that was dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very welcome. That was awesome.
It's quiet in here today. What's going on? We need a little bit of spice. Anybody in Discord?
Here,
Did you
geometric
say-
horizon.
Did you
Here,
say
little
spice?
geometric horizon. Here, boy.
Chocolate. Did Anthony just say spice?
Yeah, it's not gonna come out anymore, chocolate. No, it's
Here,
not
little
safe.
geometric horizon.
It's not safe.
Metaphorically, Anthony, when you didn't hear my analogy at the beginning of the show, or maybe you did, I can't remember, about them being basically completely caught with their pants down while we're all dressed for battle. So there's not going to be a battle when that's the circumstance, right? So what do you do in that situation? Well, you send men over. Well, that's essentially what you've done when you poked the bear yesterday with Ruhif. That's why I trimmed out that clip. So that's what I've been doing. Poke, poke, poke. Because clearly they don't want to come to us. They want to make their excuses.
Oh no, they do want to fight the Flat Earthers. Issued a challenge to any Flat Earther that wants to debate the Black Swan. They can do it on his channel and he'll take on anyone. And my name got mentioned. So did yours, Nathan. But, I mean, why would anybody want to go to their channels when all they do in chat is just attack the person all the time, in chat all the time? They can't have the conversation. They have to make it some kind of Punch and Judy show. It's just, there's no point going to these ballers because there's no benefit to doing it. They ignore, they deny, they dismiss everything that we ever say, and they never ever concede any points ever. It's just like talking to a concrete post.
Well, has there been an offer of actual rebuttal? We've laid it down. Balls in your court, Fundies. What's your rebuttal?
Come into my chat instead. That's what he wants us to do.
Well, no. Not let's change venue. So, metaphorically speaking, we're on the battlefield, bayonets pointing your way, and your rebuttal is, let's change the venue. Let's all pack up and move down the... No. The battle lines have been drawn. Now we just need a rebuttal. I don't give a shit what form it comes. You don't have to come here to give me... I'm not going to beg you to come here. I don't care that you're not here. Good. I'm glad you're not here. It's nice and quiet. However, if you feel you have a rebuttal, give it us. Don't give a crap what form it takes. Make a video. Explain what you think you've got, fat boy.
Well, I've clearly heard him say before that the boats would be disappearing over a physical geometric horizon.
Yeah, I've already got plenty of shit from him. I don't need him here. And as for me going to him, for what? What do I need from him other than him asserting that we have a physical geometric horizon that's currently being denied by the rest of the fundies that do come here? So you don't think I need you for anything, fatty, other than to laugh at you. Yeah, you're our comparison. When the idiots tell us that, no, we don't have a geometric horizon. No, of course, you could only see it if you sucked out all the atmosphere. Play the clip of Fat Boy saying, we've got a physical geometric edge. Or Red's rhetoric saying, oh, what would that be? The geometry? No, it wouldn't be. Yeah, the fact that you don't want to come here to have your head chopped off doesn't alter the fact that we've got a demolishment of your argument. It's already been laid down. The bomb's gone off.
Plus, nobody cares about you, Fight the Flat Earth. You're irrelevant.
No, I care if he's got a rebuttal.
Look at your name.
I care if he's got a rebuttal. I'm searching for them. Day after day after day. So if he's got a rebuttal, I want to hear it. I don't give a crap how I hear it. I don't give a crap if he makes his little video in his own little time because he's too scared of the mute button or whatever bullshit excuse they want to offer up. But if you've got a rebuttal, let's hear it. And what's that The rebuttal we've got so far is we don't have a geometric horizon. Not so much of a rebuttal, more a relinquishment of your religious belief in a sphere we're standing on. So not so good so far. Let's see if Fat Boy can do any better.
Maybe he and Mr. Sensible should confer with each other and see whether or not the radius is important in their model. Because one of them thinks that, at best we've disproven it, and thinks that means nothing.
Yeah, let's move on to that and just go with basic logic, which seems to have eluded them right now because of this. So let's just say, so what is the consequences of us disproving the radius? Where do you go from here? What is your claim now?
There's nothing left to do, Arwin, except welcome them to flat Earth. There's nothing left to do except there's nothing left to do except welcome them to flat Earth, Arwin.
Good. Or you could just push it a little.
If I may.
I kind of agree, because what are we going to talk about? The oil rigs again? Like, what is even the point of talking to fight the flat Earth? What rebuttal could you possibly have, buddy? Your side has already conceded the geometry of your model, so I don't know where we're going from here.
Yeah, and who would want him to come here with his pants down anyway?
It's not about him, it's about a rebuttal of any form from anyone. I don't give a crap who's got a rebuttal. And I'm not spending time after time after time going through the searches to see who's actually produced a rebuttal, just to hear the same ad hominem attacks over and over again. Water off a duck's back. Swan's back. Couldn't care less about your ad homs. Dr. Phil. I'm not interested in ad homing you either with your complete incompetence when it comes to science. Although I will quote you now as saying, a hypothesis is, in caps, not a prediction. Followed up by several cited quotes from me where actual scientists describe it as a scientific prediction, predicting cause and effect, things of that nature. Prof. Phil Bell, moron. However, my challenge to you personally is meaningless. Your religion, however, utilised a physical sphere edge to block things in the distance, and you don't have one anymore. So yeah, you can attack me and how weak I am, or how weak you think I am, sat in my chair on my show, doing what I do for a living. Couldn't care less about your personal attack. It won't bring you back a geometric physical obstruction. And you need one. It's the basis of your religion. So attack me all you like, you pathetic fundies. Yeah, you want to point out my mathematical acumen? You've no longer got a sphere edge. Who gives a crap about me as an individual? Yeah. Like it's going to make a difference. Shooting the messenger's pathetic. When you've no longer got a sphere edge for a horizon. And you need one. It's marked with an X and labelled horizon in your geometric model that you draw straight lines in. What's that? It's all bent? Yeah, bent would be the operative word for your model. Bent. Fictitious. Frauds. Who have inadvertently reified into existence a model that was used by philosophers to gain a better understanding about how their world worked. Not because they actually thought they were stood on a sphere. You peasants. You idiots. You should have looked at the more intelligent people who gave you these philosophical musings about how to better understand the world and understand where they were, the application of mathematics, abstractions, not reality, not physics, not science. Now, if that wasn't made clear already for you, I'll make it clear now. You don't have any science. There's no scientific evidence for this. You've merely reified mathematics by philosophy. Well, more for you, you bunch of idiots. They made it clear it wasn't real. They made it clear it was a model. But you chose to reify it, didn't you? What a bunch of fools. If you'd have understood the philosophy of a sphere Earth, you wouldn't have made your declaration that you were actually standing on it. You'd know better, like we do. In the meantime, you can attack me if you like. Because that'll make your edge of a sphere come back into existence. Oh no, the black swan was only needed once to destroy any idea that you have a physical sphere edge for boats to go over. And to necessitate you asking us why you'd need one. Absolutely hysterical. I'll just sit back from my chair and watch the entire thing implode. And I'll laugh at you while you cry and scream as it does so.
I don't know. I'm kind of personally curious to see where this is going to go. Like, are they going to retract the necessities that are derived from their claim in the first place? Like, will they actually go to the point where they will start saying that they don't need a radius for a globe Earth? because they might just go there. You never really know how crazy it can get.
They've already done it. Try and keep up, Arwin. They've already done it. 10th Man's given us plenty of quotes. There's even a term for it. The effective radius. Not the physical radius, not the one they claimed in the maths was blocking the Isle of Man. An effective radius. What's that based on? Well, an R value and an assumption of terrestrial refraction. And what's that based on? Well, a physical radius. It's the biggest cluster screw you've ever seen, and it's all imploding before our very eyes. This all started with a question about why it's so quiet. That's why. The bomb's gone off and we're watching the chaos.
I have a correction on something you said.
How dare you. Good.
Well, they've also given up their mathematics because the horizon was the 0 point for all their observations. Without a zero, you don't have mathematical anything.
You'll have to expand on that. My only understanding was that they were performing actual geometry, which required them drawing straight lines, which they can't do if they've got refraction of any description, at the point that they relinquish a physical geometric horizon. Up until then, I think I did this in the pre-show, you got a halfway house where they could argue the toss into obscurity where, oh, well, it's physical and geometric up to the point of the horizon, and then things beyond it are refracted. But as soon as they start disclaiming that the horizon isn't physical and actual, it's refracted, it's not actual, it's apparent, redundant when describing a horizon, well then everything that you're looking at, according to them, is non-physical, refracted, and therefore you can't perform geometry anymore. So that's in my understanding why they'd have to relinquish the maths in the first instance.
Right. I mean, that's what they're doing, though. They're throwing math away now. They threw away science earlier. Now they're throwing math away and still keeping the claim.
Like I say, they can't keep anything going at this point. It's untenable. The argument's untenable. They can't just believe. That used to work, not anymore.
Like they used to say, there's all this science. The body of science proves the globe. Come to 2020, oh, science doesn't prove things. Well, back in the day, they had a physical geometric curve, they used to call it. I think I remember slightly. Right. Come 2020, oh, we've never seen it before. Things certainly have changed, guys.
Everything that they've said thus far deals in degrees, like 15 degrees, 45 degrees. If you don't have a 0 point, you don't have degrees of anything.
I'd agree with that.
Guys, I just started to think for a moment, their assertion that science, as they say, supposedly doesn't prove anything. Maybe that was ever considered that when they say that they may think they're talking about the scientific method, but they're actually talking about their interpretation of science and basically what they do. Maybe it was always meant to mean, without them even realizing it, that everything they do doesn't prove anything.
That's correct. When they say, I'll paraphrase, they say science doesn't prove anything. What they mean is we have pseudoscience, and pseudoscience proves nothing. The fact they called it science is irrelevant. The fact that they may have even thought it was science is irrelevant. The fact that they now declare that science does not prove anything when it absolutely proves cause and effect is also meaningless. What they had wasn't science, what they had was pseudoscience, and that proves nothing. Their declaration that science doesn't prove anything is merely their declaration that their pseudoscience proved nothing, when it's been disproved by us.
Right. I wonder if they realize that, though.
No. Well, who's they? Let's be specific. Right, let's poke some bears.
Rumpus.
We've had Rumpus, no one we've had. Let's list off who we've had. Right, so far, let's not have beheaded fundies. Beheaded already. Rumpus. Brenda. Mr. Sensible. Ruhif. Who else?
Unorthodox.
Unorthodox. Planner Walk. All headless chickens. Zanuck. All headless chickens. So, who do you want to poke? Red Rhetoric. Headless chicken now. Come on, Arwen, there must be a bear you want to poke.
Sorry, I was typing something.
Pick a bear and poke it. Slice by Arcane, already been poked.
Was George mentioned already?
Perfect. Yeah, no, George hasn't had a mention. Go ahead, poke away.
Okay,
I'll do it for you. George, you did a presentation about how much geometric obstruction you'd have based on the R value. You did an entire presentation on it. Your model had an assertion that you had physical geometric obstruction based on a physical geometric Earth curve edge called the horizon in your model. According to your cohorts, quote, "We don't have a geometric horizon," end quote, Fundies 2020. That means your model that you asserted by presentation is completely bunk, George. Arwen's telling you that, aren't you, Arwen?
yeah. Yes, exactly.
Exactly, you see?
What he said.
What I said. Right on. Let's poke someone else.
You know his presentation so much better than I do because I've really rarely been able to sit through longer than 2 minutes of it.
I don't think I've ever sat through a presentation of his. I joined once when he was doing a presentation because within 30 seconds of seeing a presentation from him, I objected to everything he said. He had a Kármán line holding in gas pressure, an imaginary place that apparently gives him the volume of gas that he'll measure the pressure for. Well, he doesn't have an imaginary gas pressure container in the form of a Kármán line, an arbitrary position he'll designate. So I immediately object whenever I see anything he says ever, because he's a complete buffoon, just makes stuff up, like arbitrary positions holding in gas pressure, which it doesn't. Same goes for his models. I've only ever seen them when they've been taken apart by people like Quantum Eraser, who obviously has got the tenacity to sit through such utter garbage. Me, it makes me want to be sick.
I think I have another one for you.
Hey, Nathan.
Might have forgotten a little about it, but how about conspiracy cats?
Feel free.
He's done
Poke.
some really goofy
He's already been poked
presentations.
by Anthony, but yeah.
Nathan, Mr. Giggles was supposed to be on the live show today. He promised he would show up.
Yeah, he's dealing with a spaghetti explosion in the mess hall, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nathan, the ballers are dealing with something else.
What a lack of
Dealing
their
with the
religion.
exposure that you elucidated yesterday, which is who's the lie? The they, when they say why would they lie, it's themselves. They're lying to themselves, and they finally realized it. Now they're left with the guilty conscience of why have I been making excuses for this model I reified?
Oh, well put. Thank you, AI Overlord.
Nice.
Well
Now,
put.
I posted a video for you to watch from Louis Rossman. He's a computer technician, works on a lot of Apple products, and he made an observation about Apple sheep. Back in the day when Apple was making all these problems and people were defending Apple, they were coming up with excuses because they didn't want to be the one to point out that this product was bad because they wanted to be included. So they made up excuses for Apple. Like, oh, you're just holding the phone wrong. Or, oh, you don't know how to use it. And the moral of his story is, don't make excuses for the other by denying your experience. And that's what the Globers do. They lie to themselves. They deny their experience. They have a shitty phone that sucks. They need to return it to the store and say, please give me a good phone. But instead, they make excuses for the phone that they have, which is the Globe model. So you got guys like you just mentioned making up fake Kármán line containers, other guys making up super looming refraction. Like they are making it up as they go in their own mind, like you said yesterday, to make it palatable to their belief system. But it is ultimately them lying to themselves. So the answer is, why would they lie? It's you are lying to yourself.
Someone's brought him up. So on screen now, I've got Louis Rossman. I've been subscribed for a long time to Louis Rossman. I love him. And not metaphorically. As does GeoShifter. So we're both fans of Louis Rossman. We've had a couple of chats which were kind of awkward in Louis Rossman's chat. So we were watching him doing a MacBook board repair. And for some reason, GeoShifter and I still give each other a high five in his chat on his live stream. Before long, we're being asked questions about Flat Earth that are kind of awkward. And you can hear in the back of his then very small shop rumblings about the chat. It's quite amusing, because me and GeoShifter are kind of we're awkwardly, uncomfortably shifting in our seats because I've been banned from many a different live chat purely because of expressing an answer to somebody who's asked me a question. In other words, I don't necessarily want to be in Lewis Rossman's chat talking about this subject. I do. In fact, I go to his chat to escape this. And the fact that I saw GeoShifter there, I'm like, oh, bloody hell. Please don't get me banned. I don't want to. I like this chat room. Anyway, so I'll give you a bit of a background to Lewis Rossman. He's just moved. He's a guy in New York. He's moved into a really nice premises, and he's just suddenly gone from looking fairly amateurish in his old shop where he does his MacBook board repairs to looking like beyond professional. It's just like a complete transformation in his new premises, apart from the odd video talking about blocking up holes to stop cockroaches coming in and things like that. But he's just a fascinating character. He lays his entire life out there and expresses his views. Sometimes he does talk about conspiracy in a mild way. But I put him on for my wife literally last night. So she's like, we can't watch endless stuff about flat earth while we're eating dinner. I'm like, okay, I'll put something else on. So I put on Lewis Rossman, and she's like asking me questions about him doing a board repair, and I'm telling her what he's doing, and she's like, oh, this is much nicer. In other words, my wife would rather watch a MacBook get repaired at board level than she would listen to a flat earth video, which has made me crack up. But there we go. Not like technology is mostly a woman's subject that they'll be interested in, but literally she'd rather watch Lewis Rossman repair a MacBook than watch us discuss the non-physicality of a geometric impossibility. But there we go. That's my wife for you. Shout out to Lewis Rossman. Love your work. No other Lewis Rossman friends? Just me and AI Overlord to take it? No one else has ever heard of him? Got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, nobody piss him off either because he still has to do my hard drive.
He's doing some work for you, is he? Yeah. It's not him that does the hard drives, though, is it?
No, he trained his new kid, so he's had to have that new kid do it.
I don't care for Macintosh.
Neither does he. He literally hates them. Don't buy a Mac would be his advice.
Well, I'll give you guys an example. It's like Apple will charge you $1,500 to replace your logic board, and they will not guarantee that you get your data. In fact, they just assume all your data is lost. So all your pictures of your kids, all your flat Earth arguments, the time when Rumpus conceded that the Earth is flat, all those things will be lost forever. And you have to pay $1,500 for the privilege of having Apple erase your data when he could fix the board for like a couple $100 and get your data. That's the point he's making. Is like, you don't just have allegiance to a brand or a model and do mental backflips to make excuses for it when they're screwing you every which way.
That's
the thing about the globe is like, nobody's out there officially publishing, you should make this argument or that argument to defend the globe. These guys are coming up with it on their own because they're so loyal to the brand. They're so invested in the lie that they would rather make up more lies, and they are lying to themselves by denying their own experience. You say, I'm seeing this, but no, it's something else. You're lying to yourself. It's that simple.
Yep. And as a groupthink mentality, they can develop their own arguments and their own rebuttals and their own smear of heliocentric bullshit to put over the top of any rebuttal that we come up with. Now, at the moment, they're working out amongst themselves which way the direction of the smear should go. But there isn't one. They can't smear over the top of this papier-mâché ball. It's had too many holes poked in, and now it's collapsing. Shout out to Awaken Narrative, who says, concentric star trails on whirl-twirl tilt-ellipti. Okay, I don't really follow that, but thank you very much for the super chat, Awaken Narrative. Really appreciate your support. Smash the super chat if you want to support this channel.
I'm just waiting for one of them to come in and say something about 15 degrees, 45 degrees, and then you can ask them from what? Because they've given up 0. They don't have that.
Need a little tumbleweed graphic to go by. Yeah, ain't no one
It's
coming
sad
in.
when we got all this time for them to come in here and explain to us where the hell their geometric horizon is, but they just sit and chat. I don't get it.
I do.
I look in the chat real quick. I see this Phil Black guys talking shit. Mark Taylor, like, what's wrong with you guys? Why don't you guys get on the mic, man up for a second, and show us what you got? Why are you sitting in chat just talking shit? I don't get it.
Because they're girls with skirts. They're cowards. They've always been cowards. They're retarded cowards. You can't spell radius or retard without R. Where's the geometric horizon, crayon munchers? That's the question. Where is it? Show it to us. You're finished. We're going to drive the frigging silver stakes in real slow. And then we're going to do it again. Over and over and over again. Get ready.
Yeah, I described it like a really long coffin nail, the final one. And they're all stood around screaming and yelling at us personally while we smack the nail in. A nail in the shape of a black swan. But they're yelling at the people with the hammer rather than addressing the nail that's getting deeper and deeper and deeper as time goes by. Yeah, you scream at us. Yeah, you tell us we're stupid. Yeah, you attack our acumen. Yeah, that'll really bring back the geometric horizon you're all relinquishing. It'll work, yeah. Do it long enough. Attack us personally long enough. Water off a swan's back.
You're finished, retards. You're checkmated. How you like me now?
Yeah, every time I'm braced for a little bit of... another shout out to Awaken Narrative. Concentric star trails is the flying black swan. Okay. I'll have to wrap my head around that later. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Awaken Narrative.
Where's Mr. Giggles with his scientific evidence of gravity?
Oh, is that what he was coming in for? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Non-Black Swan related. Fair enough.
Yeah, he changed his name. Dabbity Dog or Dabbity Dumb Shit or whatever. Come on, get in here.
Is the room full? Let's move a few people. Buster never talks. Sorry, Buster.
Well, Nathan, if he comes in and talks about gravity, he's going to have to change 9.8 meters square per meters, whatever that saying is, because the radius is off.
Yeah, this is just a little sidebar till we get back to asking them where their geometric horizon is.
They don't have one.
Yeah, I know that. I just want to hear him say it. And you know the next words that are coming out of my mouth.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
I've always been curious. I've always been curious why they defend gravity so much. It's a neither here nor there argument because it's not contingent upon the shape whatsoever. Now, it's contingent in their math, sure, but there's no necessary consequence between a ball floating in space and gravity or a flat plane and people being held to the ground. It's like things going up and down has nothing to do with the shape of the ground whatsoever. So if you've already relinquished R, arguing gravity is like regression.
It's because the pseudoscientists in the realm of astrophysics have decided that it's a necessity part of their origin story. So it's weaseled into a lot of their arguments and their mathematics. So for example, you're there, Sleeping Warrior. When you talk about relative density, it's a fairly short description that sums it up beautifully. Relative density. But yet we would assert things because of their mathematics and our training at school that it's actually density and buoyancy. And then you look into buoyancy and it's got all of their mathematics weaseled and weaved into it. So even when you assert the very basic premise of things being more dense than the medium that they're in, they would assert that that's a buoyancy effect and the contraforce, or however you describe it, to the gravitational effect, just by using one word. Another example, I keep wanting to say this and get it in, AI Overlord. I'm so pleased that you've mentioned the fact that when I had that thought, well, who's lying to who? Where's the boogeyman? Well, there isn't one. It's just us. We're all lying to ourselves and coming up with our own bullshit. whatever level that might be. It might be somebody in great power that can permeate that nonsense quite far and wide. Or it might just be yourself at this ground level deceiving the people in the trenches. Who cares? It's no boogeyman, it's just you, lying to yourself. Well, I'm glad you kind of picked up on that, and I hope others have. Because, like I say, when I thought it was like a penny drop moment, you're like, bloody hell, why are we going after Shields and Boogeyman? There isn't one. Well, there might be. Like I say, the people that are perpetuating the lie, and maybe don't even realise it, might put out a documentary about it that's really, quote-unquote, shilling for the globe lie. But they might not have any vague conception that they're even telling anything in the slightest bit deceptive. But yet they permeate it throughout the media channels that they've got available to them, and it has a massive effect on the general populace. Well, are they suddenly the boogeyman that needs chasing? If you tied him or her to a chair and were like, why did you perpetuate this lie? And they're like, I didn't know! What are you talking about? I was just making a documentary. Of course the world's a spit. That would be their attitude. So is that, if you actually got to the person that's putting out the information that's now classified by us as just incorrect, half the time you dig deep enough and they're disclaiming it themselves. You dig into the Andrew Thomas Young stuff and you find that he's making it perfectly clear that you're conceptualizing a physical horizon, that you're taking geometric consideration when looking at something not actual. So they tell you. He just didn't look hard enough, the ones that reified it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with space-time.
Exactly.
It's all a conceptual construct.
We have Mr. Giggles. He exclaims, I don't have a mic. Yeah.
That is so weak.
Get out of here.
The thing to remember, Nathan, the minute you say the word buoyancy, in the maths, it calculates for gravity being a force to give them the buoyancy effect. But if gravity is not a force, then what does that do to the maths for buoyancy? If it's incorrect, it makes the maths invalid. That's the key point to remember with buoyancy. That's why we should avoid that word and say relative density instead, because it describes the same thing. It just doesn't rely on the maths being calculated as a force, because we know, of course, gravity is not a force. And even if you think of it as a force, it still doesn't make it a force.
Mic check, Discord, mic check.
Hello, Travis, was that? Sounded like Travis.
Hey, yeah, I've been trying to talk for a while. Drop and rejoin. Yeah, it was me. We got RB 1985 in Discord here. Share your pain. Come off mute.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. I've told you 9 times, RB, that we only have one horizon.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. I corrected myself on that, didn't I?
No, you're going very high pitched. I just know that you're a chat commenter that I've had to tell 9 times that we only have one horizon. You kept telling us that we're dumb, that we don't understand there's a difference between geometric and apparent. I have also told you in the same exact statements that apparent's redundant.
I think you're mistaking me with somebody else.
Oh, okay. There's another dude called RB. Obviously, Discord and YouTube names are obviously not the same, so sorry if you're not that person, my bad.
That's okay, no worries, no worries. I got an... You said it was irrelevant that they called it science?
Irrelevant that they called what science, sorry?
They're bullshit stories about a ball, spinning space ball.
Right, they called them science, now they declare science doesn't prove things because their stories were actually pseudoscience. Right, yes, okay.
Well, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Them saying that science doesn't prove things?
Now, that's what makes it textbook pseudoscience.
Yeah, spot on.
So it's kind of relevant.
It's kind of weird, though, right? They used to say the body of science. The body of science. Now science doesn't prove things, so. All right.
Those sentiments came from Rumpus. They permeated throughout the entire Flat Earth community, the trenches thereof. But it was rumpus. That's his sentiments.
Oh, I know.
Maybe he was referring to a dead body that can't prove anything.
Well, you've used a pun on the reification. So science is a method. It's not got lips to express disapproval. It's not got a body to, you know, whatever his version of a body is going to do in that example. It's just not a physical thing. It's a method. So that's another reification fallacy. So when people say things like, the scientific establishment say, no. Science is a method. It establishes cause and effect. It doesn't have lips, and there is no establishment of people in a group that qualify what science does. That's a reification fallacy. Science is a method. No lips, no body, no eyes, no feelings, no sentience. Just a method. It proves, if done correctly, and your assumptions prove correct, then it proves the cause of an effect. Or it invalidates a presumed cause of an effect. So validates or invalidates a hypothesis, proves or disproves a scientific prediction. That's what science does. So the Muppets that claim science doesn't prove things, it proves or disproves hypothesis. Hypothesis being a prediction of a cause of an effect you observed in nature. So science absolutely proves things. If it didn't, there'd be no point in doing it. But they didn't have it, and upon being proven to not have it, and saying they have it, i.e. we've got science, here it is, it's a model called Earth geometry, and we go, that's not science, it's not cause and effect reasoning, it's not a valid hypothesis. Their response, their rebuttal, is science doesn't prove anything. No, you didn't have science. Science definitely does prove things, you just had pseudoscience.
So the universities have, it doesn't improve science departments?
It has both science, in the truest sense of the word, people who are validating hypothesis by varying and manipulating that which they assume caused the phenomena they observed. They would be the science departments. Physics departments, dealing with the physical and natural world. You also have pseudoscience departments, like astronomy, astrophysics, and cosmology. Well, all of those departments are pseudoscience. They don't follow the scientific method. All that science is that method, and adherence to which would give you validated scientific empirical data. And they don't have it. They have the observation of phenomena, a light in the sky most often, and then a just so story to go alongside it, which people who are in the trenches claim is science. When it's pointed out it isn't, they say science doesn't prove anything. It does. You just don't have it. For your religion of a sphere Earth. Doesn't mean that science doesn't prove anything, it just means you didn't have it.
No, they might as well get rid of their PhD diploma because it doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of heartbroken claim to be scientists. You know, some of the people who oppose us, at least you'd hope they were a little bit more intelligent given their accreditation, but ultimately speaking, they challenge us and then quickly give up, realise they're onto a loser, and wise up that it can only get worse if they continue to fight us. We've seen it a few times. George Musa being an example, he got involved and then quickly turned tail and legged it, and can you blame him? Most sensible thing he ever did. Shout out to MacGyver Institute of Ninja Technology. Quote, our horizon. Prayer in yesterday's comments. Our horizon. I think it's supposed to have the letter R, actually, MacGyver. Letter R, our horizon. Who art in geometry. Hallowed be thy mathematics. Your sky vacuum something. We'll make it up as we go along. We figure out the whys and wherefores of the new prayer in the after show. You're already
You should
keen.
look in the Discord chat and just pick on people randomly and see what explanation they've got for the geometric horizon that they believe but can't prove exists.
I'm taking a leaf out of your book with the pokey pokey.
How about a shameless plug before we go to that?
Yeah, sure. You got a show today. Go ahead.
Did he say good stuff?
Go ahead.
Yeah, in a few minutes I will. Yeah, on the Quantum Eraser channel today. We're going to be going over to Black Swan and an announcement on a technique to get the word out. So that's 1 o'clock US Central, and that would be 6 o'clock your time this time, Nathan?
I think it's 6 o'clock now, yeah, now that your clock's changed.
Yeah, just for a couple weeks. So yeah, today, 1 p.m. US Central, 6 p.m. UK. Be there, man. Gonna be fun.
That's on the Quantum Eraser YouTube channel. Be here or be sphere. With that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. A massive thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. As I say, stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!